Hello everybody and welcome back for some weekly VR news. As always, I'm Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. So like usual, we will go over any new game releases, updates, new hardware coming down the pipeline, and basically what's going on in the VR industry. But this is going to be a unique episode. Something has occurred that I haven't seen in like the last 2 years, so we're going to have to discuss that. Now, there are, of course, links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but before we jump in, this video is brought to you by my sponsor, Kiwi Design. They currently make my favorite Quest 2 Elite strap, which comes in multiple different versions. You can add an extra battery pack, high-quality headphones, or even both. They also have other products like Valve Index-style hand straps, and they just introduced a brand new RGB stand. Your controllers and headset magnetically connect. There's a charging indicator so you'll know when your headset's ready to go. And there's plenty of different RGB color options available. There's a link to Kiwi Design down in the description. And don't forget to use discount code Mateo311 for 5% off and to help support this channel. Okay, so let's start this video off like normal with the check-in, and that's what exactly have I been up to lately. Now, Baldur's Gate 3 is life. I put about 15 hours in, but I did not let it cut into my VR time, just my sleep. Yeah, forget that. Who needs sleep? Okay, so like I said, this week there's some gameplay coming, and Tuesday I'm releasing a video on I Expect to Die 3. You'll get a nice sneak peek of that. And on Thursday we have Alvo for the PlayStation VR 2. Exciting games. You guys should enjoy this video. It is the return of gameplay footage, so I hope you guys enjoy that. And just like this channel in general, I have changed it up. I think the content should be a lot more compelling, so I hope you guys come back for that. If you're interested in those games, even if you're not, I do recommend you just check it out. At least give me some feedback what you think about my changes. But let's move on from the checkout, starting off with those new game releases. I've already mentioned 2 of them, and the first one is I Expected to Die 3, Cog in the Machine, which is a prequel in the series. It's the 3rd game, but it's actually a prequel. These are quirky escape rooms. I absolutely love the series. In fact, wearing their t-shirt from the 2nd game right now. And if you have any interest in, spy themed escape rooms, challenging puzzles, you should check out that series. But again, I will have footage up tomorrow so you can see what it's all about. Now the next one is Alvo, which is basically the old school Modern Warfare or old school Call of Duty in VR. It's a competitive first-person shooter like that, 5v5, multiple different game modes, and is now finally making its way onto the PlayStation VR 2. I also played this. I'll also have footage up, and it's a great option for competitive shooter. So keep an eye out for that if you're looking for a new shooter on the PlayStation VR 2. Now moving along, we have a few smaller Steam VR releases, and the first one is Gravity League. The best way to describe this title is basically first-person air hockey. There's 2 players, 1 ball, 0 gravity, and the first to 7 goals wins. There's a large array of customization available for you to personalize this game, and it just looks like some good old-fashioned casual fun. And our final new release of the week is the tower defense title Magic Stone Guardians. You'll need to build up the perfect defense to stop invading enemies, and there's also an array of different guardians at your disposal. Now this title is also playable outside of VR, and if you're not quite sure about it, there is a free demo that you can try out. Now moving into new game announcements, let's start off with Glassbreaker's Champions of Moss, which is a new title from Polyarc, the studio that gave us the absolutely fantastic platformer Moss Book 1 and 2. Now, Polyarc is moving away from the puzzle platformer and giving us something much closer to a MOBA style game. This is a competitive game where you're selecting champions from the world of Moss and battling against other players online. Now, this game has been in closed beta for months, and I was lucky enough to get to experience it, but I'm under NDA and can't talk about it just yet. If you want more information, Polyarc is doing a full showcase on August 29th, and that's when we'll get all the information we're looking for. I will say I have a lot of hope for this title. The studio is absolutely amazing, and I'm really intrigued to play something like a MOBA inside of VR. Now, Resolution Games also has a beta opening up for their upcoming title Racket Club, featuring both 1v1 and 2v2 PvP modes, plus a full single-player career mode. Racket Club is the ultimate sports game for people who enjoy everything from ping pong all the way to full-on tennis. When it comes to producing high-quality VR titles, Resolution Games has an excellent track record, and I expect Racket Club will continue that trend. Now, we also got confirmation that the platformer Ven VR Adventure is coming to the PlayStation VR 2. This is roughly 3 years since its original PCVR release, and while it is a pretty good game, it just doesn't have the same quality of something like Moss or Astrobot. I did enjoy it, I did play through it, I just felt like it was lacking in some areas, and then also the difficulty spikes out of nowhere a couple times, making it a bit frustrating. But if you are really looking for a new platformer, it is worth checking out. It is a solid title overall. Just again, not everyone is a top-notch game like Moss and Astrobot. And our final game story today is the early access release of War of Being, which is a brand new project from a progressive metal band. I know that sounds pretty crazy, but they wanted to produce a video game, and they said it's been a part of their life for an extended period of time, and it's currently released in early access with the full release expected next year. War of Being is a sci-fi puzzle title that looks quite creepy and is currently available for only $6 on Steam. Now, the full release of the game will include more levels, an inventory system, and additional gameplay elements, but we're going to be waiting roughly a year for the full release. Now, I'm really curious about this game, and since it's so cheap, I'll probably check it out, because I really have no idea what exactly it's about. Alright, let's move into today's final story, and that's the fact that VR kind of feels dead. Now, bear with me on this one. This isn't a VR is dead topic. It's a little bit different. I've been doing content creation for 3 years now in regards to VR, and I've been doing a news segment for roughly 2 years, I believe. And in the early days, content was really, really sparse. Like, you had to scrounge to find anything going on in the VR industry, but for the last maybe year to 18 months, these episodes have basically written themselves, and I do not have to, look for content. In fact, I'm constantly cutting out content because I want to keep it around 10 minutes, and I don't want to bore you guys. But this week, nothing is going on, and that feels kind of rough, but I think it's the quiet before the storm. Summer is coming to an end, people are getting their last vacations or days at the beaches in, and they're about to transition from summer into a new school year. So there's a lot going on in people's lives. It's not the best time to be pushing out banger titles or hyping up VR in general. So it's okay we have this little lull right now. However, like I said, this might be the quiet before the storm because huge titles are releasing later this month. We have Firewall Ultra, Crossfire Sierra Squad, probably my two most anticipated titles before Asgard's Wrath 2. Gamescom is sure to have some new announcements at the end of this month, and then we move into fall with both MetaConnect and the release of the Quest 3. So the normal roller coaster ride of VR is just proceeding as normal. It goes up and down. And I think, we're starting right now to head back up for that big drop into exciting new times. We have talked about the Quest 3 multiple times on this channel and the potential of what it could bring to VR, and I'm pretty hyped for that. But that's it, guys. There's really not much more going on right now, so I'm going to go back to enjoying my Baldur's Gate 3, a few new releases, and we'll go on from there. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And as always, I will see you guys on next time. And I wonder if you hear my kids making so much noise. It is so hard to make videos as a dad. I'm going gray. That's why I'm going gray. All right, guys. Thanks. I'll see you on next time.